What's going on, guys? Andrew Piluk Hockey here, back with another video, and as you guys can see by the title, I'm going to be talking about Artemi Panarin and the Toronto Maple Leafs. Now, before I get all that started, link down below if you want to buy a t-shirt. You don't have to, but the link is there. Also, if you're new, hopefully you'll subscribe. Love to have more hockey conversations with you. Let's get to 3,000, but let's just get this out of the way. Panarin to the Leafs, I don't think it's going to happen. I don't see why there should be too much discussion on it. I wasn't even going to make a video on it, but then I was like, okay, a lot of people like to hear, opinions on the Toronto Maple Leafs, a lot of people have commented that before. I've been getting Twitter messages, oh, is this actually real? Let me just explain this whole Panarin to the Leafs thing. Now, this isn't going to happen. I just want to say that. It's not going to happen. Leaf fans, I'm sorry. It's just, we've got Tavares. Let's be happy with the fact that this team is going to be fantastic this upcoming season. Now, Elliotte Friedman, I believe he was on the NHL Network, and he stated that he wondered if teams like San Jose and Toronto would be interested in Panarin on a one-year rental type of deal. Now, in San Jose's case, they probably would have a chance to lock him up, possibly. Actually, not possibly. They probably would if Joe Thornton and all that went off the books next season and stuff like that. Whereas on the Leafs side, it would be a pure rental. Now, he said, and he even stated it, you can watch the clip, it's everywhere. He said, listen, this is just my opinion. I'm not sure if this would be something, I haven't been hearing this. This is just something that I think could happen, if teams were going to be interested. And those were the names that he stated. And he stated San Jose and Toronto. And again, like I said, he just said it might, they might have interest in him. Now, this is where the inner fan of me got really excited because I thought he was hearing that. So I went and watched the clip over a couple times and I realized, this is what he's really saying, that the Leafs and San Jose Sharks haven't really expressed interest for, what we know. Like, we haven't been hearing that, of course, because if the Leafs were inquiring on him, I'm sure Elliotte Friedman and Bob McKenzie would be all over that, and a guy like Chris Johnston, too. If I was to take a swing at this, it's more or less that Columbus is throwing his name out there again because of, the contract talks where he doesn't want to, talk about a long-term extension yet and, all this other stuff. He probably wants to wait till the end of the season from what we've been hearing. So after a player like Panarin, a guy who scored 30 goals twice, he's only 26. He scored 27 goals last year. He had, 82 points in 81 games. He's a fantastic hockey player. He's a proven goal scorer. He's played with fantastic players already in his career. Him and Patrick Kane looked amazing. So these contending teams obviously would be interesting for him to go and play with and, for us to think about. It's just not going to happen for the Leafs. And people are like coming up with all these trade proposals and all this stuff like that. Like, oh, I wonder if they'd accept this. You're starting with a major prospect. So if Columbus is, throwing his name out there just in case, they're not really close on maybe getting an extension done, or they feel like Panarin just doesn't have interest in signing with the team long term at all, then they're probably going to go, okay, well, we kind of have the upper hand here. Panarin is going to play for our team next year because, that's just how it is. We don't have to trade him. We want, William Nylander. Or we want Travis Dermott and 2 first-round picks and this, that, and the other. Like, because they can ask for that. It's not like they're going to get it. Like, that's what people seem to forget when they're looking at rumors online. People are like, oh, there's no way they'll get Nylander. It's like, we know. The Leafs are not trading William Nylander for a rental of Artemi Panarin. That would be stupid. There's no way they're going to do that. I mean, knock on wood if there's, there's some behind me here, but it's not going to happen. The Leafs are not stupid enough to do something like that, but a team like Columbus would obviously be asking for a top piece coming back. Like, it's fantasy land to think that some fans even think that Panarin could re-sign with the Leafs. It's impossible. The money's not there. They're going to have enough from Nylander, Matthews, Marner. They're going to get that done. They have Tavares, whatever. Worrying about Panarin at this point is, for a one-year rental, if the price was decent, then sure. Like, if we're talking, like, you bite the bullet a little bit and you have to trade a guy like Janssen, which would really hurt, and, like, a first and, like, a couple other pieces, then it's like, okay, that seems like it's okay for 1 year of Panarin if you're really going for it, but do you really have to do that with all that offensive firepower when you really should be looking for a decent defenseman? Like, you have to think clearly here. Like, if Columbus is, like, fed up and they're like, okay, well, we want good stuff back for Panarin, but we're willing to trade him before the season starts, then it's kind of like, okay, maybe their price lowers and other teams, I'm not saying the Leafs, because I don't think it's going to happen, but a team like San Jose, I could really see San Jose going after Panarin. But a team like Toronto, I mean, I'm just trying to come up with more info here because I just don't see how this would ever work, and I'm a Leafs fan. I'd love to see Panarin play for the Leafs for one season. A lot of people would get attached emotionally to him because he's a fantastic hockey player. I've been, privileged enough to watch a lot of Blackhawks games before, and then watching Columbus games to be able to watch him play, not live like in person, but on TV and NHL Network and Sportsnet, whatever. I've been able to watch a lot of highlights and games of him if people aren't really familiar with how really good he is. But the Leafs going after him, I just wanted to make this video because I don't think that that's possible. I think Elliot Friedman probably regrets even saying the Leafs now because people are probably going to be asking him about it. If I'm just going to clarify this on behalf of him, which clearly I shouldn't because I don't really know him, but I think if you watch the clip, you can really understand the fact that he's just throwing teams out there to say, listen, if they were willing to take a 1 year shot at Panarin, they probably have the pieces to at least get a deal done because both teams have great depth and they're both teams that are really gunning for it. So let me know what you guys think about this video. If you're new, make sure you subscribe. Love to have more hockey conversations with you. Join the squad. Let's get to 3,000 subscribers. I'll see you guys in the next video or stream. Peace.